Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nureliza Syaira binti Muhammad Isa. Today I want to discuss about my group presentation, which is Southern Asia Study in Indonesia. Okay, the first is the Southern Asia country of Indonesia consists of more than 17,000 tropical islands and volcanoes spanning the equator between the Indian and Pacific oceans. Among Indonesia's main provinces are the islands of Java, Bali, and Sumatra, as well as large parts of Borneo and New Guinea. Today, we are saying Indonesia is home to more than 300 ethnic groups with about 500 languages and dialects spoken, of which 87% of the population, or about 200 million people, are Muslim, making Indonesia a country the largest Islam in the world. Moreover, for thousands of years, Indonesia developed a complex agricultural society with a rich artistic and cultural tradition rooted in belief in ancestral spirits and animism. This is because the history of Indonesia also tells of the entry of maritime trade, religious conversions, the rise and fall of the Buddhist and Hindu kingdoms, 350 years of Dutch occupation, the Japanese inventions, and the establishment of an independent state in 1945. Thus, Indonesia has cultivated a worldwide which combines various religions and traditions with indigenous belief located at the heart of Indonesian culture. Furthermore, for 2,000 years, merchant ships crossed the Straits of Malacca, the sea's route connecting South Asia and East Asia, carrying maritime traders in search of gold and spices. In the middle of their journey along this route in the Indonesian archipelago, trades from India and China, looking for exotic trade items from gold, humid, and cloth to wing feathers and eagles. At present, the Indonesian government uses new religions and cultures ideas brought in by the foreign traders, who are sometimes accompanied by Hindu and Buddhist priests. After these Indian religions were established on the islands of Java, the Indonesian government oversaw the development of religious sites in India. Okay, so that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mumtaz Najah binti Jantan from AM104C. Below is my metric number for your reference. We move to the next part, which is background of Indonesia. Firstly, the historical information about Indonesia. Indonesia was a parliamentary democracy when it first became independence. President Sukarno, on the other hand, launched a new political system in February 1957, which he dubbed guided democracy. Parliament's power was limited, but his own was significantly strengthened. His opponents founded the PRRC, a separate parliament, the revolutionary government of the Republic of Indonesia. Sukarno's soldiers, on the other hand, remained faithful to him, and he remained in power. Meanwhile, the army took over the remaining Dutch firms in Indonesia in October 1957. As a result, the army became powerful. So the economy then began to suffer in the early 1960s. Inflation was really quick, and Indonesian communists attempted a coup in September 1965. They killed several generals. They also took control of key locations in Jakarta. General Suharto, on the other hand, acted immediately. The coup attempt failed. President Sukarno gave Suharto the authority to restore order. Suharto detained and killed a considerable number of communists after the coup. However, many Indonesians remained poor, and the country was struck by a financial crisis in 1997. The economy then shrank as a result. Suharto resigned in May 1998 when protests occurred in Indonesia. With the elections held in 1999, Indonesian democracy was reintroduced. The Indonesian economy began to improve towards the turn of the 21st century. Indonesia's economy is now rising gradually, and Indonesia had a population of 267 million people in 2020. Next, we move to the next part, which is their political background. Indonesia is a democratic republic with a constitution. Following the fall of President Suharto's long-running authoritarian New Order administration in 1998, many constitutional modifications were enacted to limit the executive branch's practical power, making a new dictatorship nearly unthinkable. Having maintained political stability, Indonesia is one of East Asia Pacific's most vibrant democracies, emerging as a confident middle-income country. Among the well-known separatist movements in Indonesia are the Free Aceh Movement, the Indonesian National Revolution, the Papua Conflict, and the Republic of South Maluku. Terrorism in Indonesia started since 28 March 1981 by a group called Komando Jihad, who hijacked a plane that started its route from Palembang to Medan, but was forced to Colombo, Sri Lanka. In the case of Indonesia's corruption in the country is likely to be facilitated by a number of factors, such as large amounts of public resources derived from natural resources, vested interests and politically connected networks, poorly paid civil servants, low regulatory quality, and weak judicial independence. In addition, local officials are given wide discretionary power and resources without proper accountability and enforcement mechanisms. In terms of armed and sea piracy, pirates choose Indonesia because it has a lot of ships passing through its waters. The ships go slowly since the straits are small and possibly dangerous, and there are a number of islands to hide on. For pirates, Indonesia is the ideal hideaway. It has a long history of piracy, thousands of islands on which to hide, and a weak national leadership and local officials who are readily paid. That's all from me. Thank you. We move to the next part.
Thirdly, economy of Indonesia. The economy of Indonesia is the largest in the Southeast Asia and is one of the emerging market economies of the world. As a middle income country and member of the G20, Indonesia is classified as a newly industrialized country. It is the 15th largest economy in the world by nominal GDP and the 7th largest in terms of GDP, estimated at US 40 billion in 2019. Indonesia's internet economy is expected to cross the US 130 billion mark by 2025. Indonesia depends on domestic market and government budget spending and its ownership of state-owned enterprises, the administration of prices of a range of basic goods, and plays a significant role of Indonesia market economy. Fourthly, social of Indonesia, using titles before first name. People in Indonesia are very serious on calling people using the appropriate title. This is a social norm that is able to show the status or the seniority of a person. It's also very rude for someone to instantly call someone with their first name. Use the title first and then their first name. For male Indonesians, you can use the formal Bapak, which term means sir or mas. For the informal terms, you can refer female Indonesians as Ibu, which means ma'am or mbak. That's more informal. A title used to call someone who is probably younger than you will be adik. Ask for permission. Indonesian people are very friendly to all kinds of people, especially when you're polite and shows humbleness. When you're in a crowded place and you need to pass someone, then you can kindly say permisi, which means excuse me. People will let you pass through without a problem. You can also say it while giving a smile, which makes you more seem friendly to them. Finally, cultural aspects in Indonesia. The culture of Indonesia has been shaped by long interaction between original indigenous customs and multiple foreign influence. Indonesia is centrally located along ancient trading routes between the Far East, South Asia, and the Middle East, resulting in many cultural practices being strongly influenced by a multitude of religions, including Buddhism, Christianity, Confucianism, Hindu, and Islam, all strong in the major trading cities. The result is a complex cultural mixture very different from the original indigenous cultures.
Hi, Assalamualaikum to Madam Nur Ai binti Yaakob. My name is Nabilah binti Norsham and my student ID is 2020955293. And I will continue to present about Indonesian country. Okay, as everyone knows, Indonesia is the largest country in South ASEAN with an area of over 1,700 tropical islands and among of the country that have volcanoes. Indonesia is said to be the largest Asian country because it has a largest number of ethnic and various dialects. Yet even though the country is the largest and has a variety of attractions that are different from other countries, Indonesia also has some domestic issues plaguing to the country. Among the domestic issues that occur in Indonesia are the issue of unemployment and low education standard. This issue of unemployment has hurt the development of the country. One of the issues of unemployment that occur in Indonesia is due to the very rapid population growth. The number of workers who want to work is increasing rapidly every year. This has led to the space or scope of unemployment for those who have reached the age to work or those who have just completed their studies in higher education cannot find employment. Tight competition ensued between them and other employees who had long worked. The lack of industrial sector or agriculture sector in the country causes many residents to be unable and eventually they become unemployment because they do not have a decent job to do. Technological advance can also be the causes of this problem. Most industries use more sophisticated and fast machines to produce products. The manpower required is declining as a result of the use of such technology. Another domestic issue that plagues Indonesia is the issue of their low education. Education in Indonesia is said to lack when compared to other countries. The lack of teaching staff such as highly educated teachers causes children who should learn knowledge at a set age to fail to get an education. Problem becomes complicated when people in rural areas find it more difficult to get teachers in their area of residence compared to the people who living in urban areas. The high cost of education is also the cause of the problems. Also, the country has free educational service, but the people in the country still consider the higher education to be the best. Such higher education is the reason for some parents to send their children to get more expensive education. Okay, that's all from me from the domestic issue of Indonesia. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Atarunisha binti Mama Amin. My matric number is 2020990367 and I'm from FOSI and I'm going to talk about conclusion. Population growth rate of 3 million per year, Indonesia has been successfully become the overpopulated country. That is a very fantastic number. So why it could happen in Indonesia? Here are the reasons why Indonesia is overpopulated. The high unemployment rate in Indonesia has also caused population density. When many residents do not work, then they will decide to marry at a very young age. Early marriage will lead to an increase in the number of people growing rapidly. This will be different if young people in Indonesia busy workers and career. After that, they certainly will not be in a hurry to get married or think to get married soon. That is why indirectly unemployment affects the density of the Indonesian population. The lack of education in Indonesia has caused many Indonesian women to marry at a very young age. The mindset embedded in their minds is about women do not have to go to university because they will only end up being mothers. In addition, they just think that the woman's job is to care for the educate and the child, even though there is equal opportunity for women to get education and decent work. This kind of female mindset in Indonesia should be changed. After that, those are some reasons why Indonesia is overpopulated. It should be a big task for the government to educate the people of Indonesia to raise the birth rate of Indonesia. All those aspects that cause the overpopulated should be fixed well. By the way, most of the problems that we think are associated with population can be tackled with awareness and education. So it has been found out that education and economic development are directly linked to each other. This is because more economic growth means improvement in poverty, sanitation issues, health issues, and other such socio-economic matters that are related to the population. In addition, we can educate and empower women to solve the problem of population in Indonesia. It is one of the most important steps that must be taken with dedication so that Indonesia can overcome their issues in a proper way. Thank you.